Hey, welcome back, Global Studies class. It is Tuesday, November 24th, 2020. 2020. Did you catch that? Did you catch it? 2020. It's not 2020. It's just 2020. 2020 or 2020. All right, enough of that schlock. Hope you're having a great day. It is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving break. We have no school on Thursday and Friday, so that is dope. Today we also have a very easy agenda. I know you guys had a little bit of a rough class last class. We had a little bit of work to do, so I'm trying to take it a little easy on you. We're going to talk about last class, and then we're going to rehash a little bit of what we were talking about last week, the week before, maybe even the week before that. Sources and statistics and the difference between the two. I'll hit you with your assignment and an attendance question, and we'll get you gone until, after Thanksgiving break. So, first things first, last class review. You guys had to do a worldly current event based on how the world was kind of taking a look at our election and the perspectives that there were throughout the entire world, not just in our country. And you guys did a great job. I know there were a few of you who had to work with and kind of help out along the way. Totally okay, that's great. That's just a good point to tell everybody. If you guys need help, I am here. I know we're doing online learning, but through emails, we can go back and forth and I can help you out just like if you were in class and you needed some help. So feel free to shoot me questions if you have any questions. Always, anytime for any class. That being said, you guys did a great job. Those of you who are handing in assignments, it was kind of cool to see the different perspectives. There were a few of you that did way different countries and how different countries were looking at our election results. And it was really, really cool to see the difference in opinions and the difference in perspectives throughout the different countries. So great job. I want to say very, very good job on that. Today, as I said, we're going to talk about the difference between sources and statistics. Now, a statistic can be used from a source, but a source isn't necessarily a statistic. There's a few things I want to talk about, and I'm going to need the board to look a little different. So let's go ahead, take a little break, and switch things up now. That's better. All right. Now, statistic versus source. First of all, a statistic is a fact or piece of data, or data, tomato, a fact or piece of data from a study of a large quantity of numerical data. And we're going to go ahead and underline this word right here. Numerical. When you think of a statistic, I want you to think of the word numerical or numbers. A stat 95% of the time is going to be represented by a number. For the purposes of this class, I just want you to think of a statistic as a number, all right? So, for example, of 1,000 students asked or polled, 83% of them, or 830 is what it would break down to, would like to have all Fridays off. Okay, that's a number that is giving me information. I think the number would probably be a little bit higher. It might even be 100% or 1,000 students. But the fact of the matter is there's a numerical study that was done. 1,000 kids were asked, and this is the number that said, yes, we want Fridays off. This is a statistic because we're using numerical data. How is that different from a source? A source may not have any numbers in it whatsoever. A source is a first-hand account or a primary document supplying information. Now, what does that mean? We'll come back to first-hand and primary, but basically it's a book, a person, a document that is giving you information, and it may help your argument, but it may have no numbers at all. For example, according to the PA Student Council, the student council president, the leader of a group of students in the school. And then we quoted it because this is what they said. Students would benefit from having all Fridays off. Now, there's no number there, but this is a good source. It is the president of the student council. This is a respectable source. Whenever you're using a source, you always want to make sure it's respectable, reputable, kind of the same thing, but somebody you can believe, somebody that has integrity and is honest. Going back to our source now. This is going to help an argument if you're trying to say schools should have Fridays off for students, make them in-service days for teachers maybe. This is a good source to use. It is not a statistic because there's no numerical data. Maybe the student council president polled all of the students, but they didn't use any of that information. So this is just a source. Now, a statistic can be used as a source. You would have to find this information, find out what the study was called, and you can use that as a source if you'd like. But the key difference that I want you guys to see here between a statistic and a source is this word right here, numerical. We've been creating some arguments over the past month, and when we have to use a statistic, either in our argument or in our rebuttal, some of us have just been using a source, which is okay, we're learning, but from here on out, when we say statistic, I want you to think of numerical data. That's number one. Number two, I said I'd come back to this. When we're talking about sources, there is a huge difference when we use the word firsthand or primary. A firsthand account means someone who was actually there or partaking in a study. Think about it as maybe you're talking with your friends and you're like, yo, dude, did you know that little Timmy Lipperman, he got into a huge fight on Friday night? You're like, whoa, really? He did? Yeah, he just crushed this other kid because they were beefing over, whose car was faster. And you'd be like, wow, did you see it happen? Yeah, dude, I totally saw it. I was there. That is a first-hand account. Now, if you went on to tell that information to your friend and you said, yo, guys, did you hear Timmy Lipper got into a fight? Yeah, apparently they were beefing over cars and whose was faster, and he totally rocked this kid. I can't believe they were fighting over whose car was faster. That's so silly. That is a second-hand account, not a first-hand. It's a second-hand because you weren't there. You heard it from somebody else. For the purposes of our class in debating, a first-hand account is always much, much, much better than a secondary account or a second-hand account. Same thing with a primary document. A primary document will be the actual document or an actual book that you are taking information from. If you take something exactly out of a book or out of a newspaper or out of a document that was released by somebody doing a study, that is a primary document. In the same way that a second-hand account is different from a first-hand account, a secondary document is different from a primary document. Maybe somebody's writing about a study that took place or writing about something from a book. That would be a secondary document. For global studies and debate class, I always want you to use first-hand accounts and primary documents when you can. They are definitely stronger. They will strengthen your argument. A secondary document or a second-hand account usually isn't going to help you out that much. If it's all you can find, that's great, but let's try to stick to primary and first-hand accounts. All right, now time for today's assignment. Your assignment today is to find an online news article. It can be from any news company in the world. I do not care, as long as it's news. And you're going to find an online news article that uses a statistic, any statistic at all. It can be about sports. It can be about population. It can be about a current event. It can be about voting. It can be about anything you want. And send that website article to me. You can either give me the hyperlink to the website that uses it, not just the website, but the actual article. You can screenshot the actual screen and the website that you're using that shows the statistic. That's fine. Take a picture of it with your phone, screenshot it with your computer, or you can just type out exactly where to go, which is basically giving me the website. However, you need to give me this article that you find online It works for me as long as you get that to me. That is what you need to do. Find an online news article. It can be about anything as long as it has a statistic in it. That's it. You don't have to create an argument. You don't have to create a rebuttal. You don't have to use a statistic. You just have to find one in a news article. Find one that's been used in a news article and send that link to me, either to the website or a link directly to the article. If you have any questions, you guys know I'm here. Just email me and I'll get back to you ASAP. If not, I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving break. Spend some time with the people you love if you can, and think about the good things that you have going on in your life. You guys are certainly one of the best things going in my life. Can't wait to see you back in class hopefully soon. You guys have a great, great, great Thanksgiving break. We'll see you next week.